Hey guys, GoForce Online, and in this video I want to talk about the housing in Log Horizon. Now, before the apocalypse, so when it was just a game, everything that was buildings, any land, anything like that was all owned by the server. Now, players could purchase certain things like houses or guild halls and stuff like that, but everything else was owned by the server. Now, once the apocalypse happened, the server didn't hold anything anymore. So it couldn't have land, it couldn't have anything like that. So everything became purchasable. And this became a massive plot point in the second arc for Log Horizon, where Shiro exploits this in order to form the Round Table. Now, there are other factions that also exploited this by purchasing buildings and restricting access to said buildings, and then removing certain permissions from players. So when the server lost all of its assets, players could buy up that set assets. So players bought large organizations like the guild hall, the banks, and some players actually bought cathedrals as well. So it prevented players from respawning back into that city if they died. Now this predominantly happened in Minami thanks to the guild called Plant Huyuden. We see a bit of that in Season 2, but not really in Season 1. So in Season 1, we had Shiro buying the guild hall and then restricting players from not being able to access their own guild halls and not being able to access the bank. Now, at the end of the first arc of Season 2, they kind of wrapped this all up. So the Round Table had an issue with they can't maintain the costs of having these buildings. So the upkeep of these buildings were a lot of gold, and they just simply couldn't afford it. So Shiro went down to the depths of Palm, and then with the guild Silver Sword, they cleared the dungeon and was granted access to all the gold in the entire game. Now from there, Shiro bought up all the existing land for the entire Yamato server, and then sold that land back into the server. So what that means is that all this unclaimed land that was still existed was then bought up and then given back to the server. So people couldn't use these exploits of restricting access. So you couldn't go into another person's house, buy that house, and then ban them from entering their own home essentially. So all of this was resolved by the assets going back into the server as ownership. Now, certain buildings are still under player control. For instance, in Minami, the guild hall and the cathedral are still property of Plant Huyuden. That wasn't added back into the server, but most of the other major buildings are now belonging to the server of Yamato. Thanks for listening, guys. If you like the content I'm putting out, please hit that like, subscribe. If you have any ideas for videos I need to make in the future, please let me know in the comments down below. Take care and be safe. Bye.